If you're still saying very, this video will completely upgrade your English.
And these words are even stronger than the ones we showed you before.
Hey everyone, I'm Sarah, and this is Michael, and welcome back to Everyday English. If you missed part 1 of our Stop Saying Very series, don't worry, we'll link it at the end.
Ready.
Today, we're diving straight into 20 more powerful alternatives that will make you sound like a native speaker. Michael, are you ready to blow their minds?
Absolutely. Let's start with something we all feel sometimes. Instead of saying very afraid, say terrified. Like, I was terrified of the spider in my bathroom this morning.
Terrified. That's so much more dramatic and natural.
Exactly. Next one, instead of very surprised, use astonished. I was astonished by how good her English was after just 6 months of study.
Astonished sounds way more sophisticated than very surprised. Now, here's one you'll use all the time. Instead of very tired, say drained. Like, after that meeting, I felt completely drained.
I love that one. It really captures that empty feeling.
Right. Okay, food time. Instead of very hungry, native speakers say famished. I skipped lunch and now I'm famished.
Famished, that's when you're really, really hungry. And here's the opposite emotion. Instead of very angry, say livid. She was livid when she found out about the mistake.
Livid is such a strong word. You can almost feel the anger, right?
Absolutely. Now, for sadness, instead of very sad, use devastated. He was devastated when his team lost the championship.
Devastated really shows the depth of emotion. And on the flip side, instead of very happy, say ecstatic. She was ecstatic when she got the job offer.
Ecstatic, that's like happiness on steroids. Now let's talk about cleanliness. Instead of very clean, say spotless. Her apartment is always spotless.
Like not a single spot of dirt anywhere.
Exactly. And the opposite, instead of very dirty, use filthy. My shoes were filthy after walking through the mud.
Filthy sounds so much more vivid than very dirty. Now here's one for busy places. Instead of very crowded, say packed. The subway was packed this morning.
Packed, like you can barely move, right?
Exactly. Now for sizes, instead of very big, use massive. They live in a massive house with 8 bedrooms.
Massive, that's huge. And for small things, instead of very small, say microscopic. The print on this contract is microscopic. I can't read it.
Microscopic, like you need a microscope to see it.
Right. Now let's talk speed. Instead of very fast, native speakers often say lightning fast. His reflexes were lightning fast.
Lightning fast. What a great visual. And for slow things, instead of very slow, use sluggish. The internet connection was sluggish all day.
Sluggish, like a slug moving slowly, right? And the next one is one you'll hear native speakers use all the time. Instead of very loud, say deafening. The music at the concert was deafening.
Deafening. So loud it could damage your hearing.
Exactly. And for the opposite, instead of very quiet, just use silent. The library was completely silent.
Now for intelligence, instead of very smart, say brilliant. She's brilliant at solving complex problems.
Brilliant. That sounds way more impressive than very smart.
Right, and honestly, instead of saying someone is very stupid, it's often better to say the idea or situation is ridiculous. That plan is absolutely ridiculous.
And it's more polite than calling someone stupid.
Exactly. Now for humor, instead of very funny, use hysterical. That movie was hysterical. I couldn't stop laughing.
That lecture was absolutely mind-numbing.
Mind-numbing. So boring, it literally makes your brain go numb.
That's much better than very boring. Now, Sarah, let's practice these with some real situations.
Great idea. I'll give you a situation, and Michael will respond using one of our power words. Ready? You haven't eaten all day.
I'm famished. Let's grab something to eat right now.
Perfect. Okay, next one. Your friend just got accepted to Harvard University.
I'm absolutely astonished. That's incredible news.
Excellent. Here's another one. You just worked a 12-hour shift at the hospital.
I'm completely drained. I need to sleep for about 10 hours.
That sounds so natural. One more. You're trying to read a contract, but the text is impossible to see.
This font is microscopic. Do you have a magnifying glass?
Perfect. Did you hear how much more expressive and natural those sounded compared to using very?
Absolutely. These words don't just replace very. They actually paint a clearer picture and create stronger emotions.
Now here's your challenge. Pick 3 of these words and try to use them in conversation this week. You'll be amazed at how much more natural you sound.
And remember, language learning is about progress, not perfection. Start with 1 or 2 that feel natural to you.
Exactly. Which word was your favorite from today's lesson? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you want to see part 1 where we cover 20 more alternatives to very, click right here. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Subscribe for more practical English lessons that will actually help you sound like a native speaker. We'll see you next time.
Keep practicing and remember, every word matters.
But wait, we're not done yet. We have 10 more powerful words that will take your English to the next level.
Absolutely. Let's start with temperatures. Instead of very hot, native speakers say scorching. It was scorching outside. I could barely walk on the sidewalk.
Scorching. I can feel the heat just from that word. And for the opposite, instead of very cold, use freezing. I forgot my jacket and I was freezing all night.
Freezing. That's so much more vivid than very cold. Now for textures. Instead of very rough, say coarse. The sandpaper felt coarse against my fingers.
That really describes the texture perfectly. And for smooth things, instead of very smooth, use silky. Her hair was silky and beautiful after using the new shampoo.
You can almost feel how smooth it is. Now let's talk about difficulty. Instead of very difficult, native speakers often say overwhelming. The final exam was absolutely overwhelming. I didn't know where to start.
Overwhelming. That really captures the feeling of being unable to cope. And for the opposite, instead of very easy, use effortless. Learning to ride a bike became effortless after practice.
Effortless, like it requires no effort at all. Now for appearance, instead of very beautiful, try stunning. The sunset over the ocean was absolutely stunning.
Stunning. It literally takes your breath away. And instead of very ugly, it's often more polite to say something is hideous, though be careful with this one. It's quite strong. That building is absolutely hideous.
Right, hideous is very strong. Now for money matters, instead of very expensive, say extravagant. That designer handbag is extravagant, but she loves it.
Extravagant. It sounds sophisticated. And for the opposite, instead of very cheap, use affordable. This restaurant is affordable and the food is delicious.
Affordable. That's a positive way to say something doesn't cost much. And finally, instead of very weird, native speakers often say bizarre. His behavior at the meeting was absolutely bizarre.
Bizarre. That's so much more interesting than weird. Now, Michael, let's do some extended practice with real workplace scenarios. These are situations you might actually encounter.
Great idea. Scenario 1.
You're in a meeting and your boss asks everyone to work overtime for the next month to meet a crucial deadline. How do you respond?
I understand the deadline is critical, but working overtime for a month straight would be overwhelming for the entire team. Perhaps we could find a more balanced approach?
Perfect! You used overwhelming naturally instead of very difficult. Here's scenario 2. Your colleague shows up to an important client presentation in flip-flops and a wrinkled shirt. What do you think?
His choice of outfit for this presentation is absolutely bizarre. I'm astonished that he thought flip-flops would be appropriate for meeting our biggest client.
Excellent! You used both bizarre and astonished naturally. Let me give you a pro tip. These powerful words work best in casual conversation, not in formal writing.
Absolutely. In formal business emails, you might still use very pleased or very concerned. But in everyday conversation, these power words make you sound more natural and confident. Context is everything. Now, let's try some rapid-fire practice. I'll say a very phrase and you respond with the power word. Ready? Very tired.
Drained.
Perfect. Very angry.
Livid.
Excellent. Very hot.
Scorching.
Great. Very funny.
Hysterical.
Fantastic. You're really getting the hang of this. Now, let me share 3 essential tips for using these power words effectively in real conversations.
Great idea. Tip number 1, start with the words that feel most natural to you. Don't try to use all 30 power words in one conversation. Pick 3 or 4 and practice those first.
Perfect advice. Tip number 2, pay attention to tone and body language. These power words are more emotional, so your delivery should match. When you say, "I'm famished," you should sound hungry.
Exactly. And tip number 3, listen to native speakers use these words in movies, podcasts, and everyday conversation. Context is everything. You'll start to notice when and how they use them naturally.
Those are excellent tips, Michael. Now, let's do a final challenge for our viewers. I want everyone watching to pause this video and try to create 3 sentences using our power words. Don't just think them, actually say them out loud.
That's a fantastic idea. Speaking out loud is crucial for building confidence. And remember, native speakers don't just use these words because they're longer, they use them because they're more specific and emotional. That's the real secret to natural English.
Exactly. And here's something important. Don't worry if you forget to use these words sometimes. Even native speakers still say very occasionally. The goal is to have options and choose the most impactful word for each situation.
That's so true. Language learning is a journey, not a destination. Some days you'll feel brilliant. Other days you might feel overwhelmed. And now you know those are both power words.
I love that. You just used our power words naturally in conversation about language learning. That shows how versatile these words really are. They work in any situation.
Until next time, keep the conversation flowing.
Bye for now.